Well, last year we were talking about ideas, for different concepts that we had, and Joey had a great idea for a horror film that I really hope we make. I think it's terrific, and he also had this idea for a science fiction film based around a fictional invention of the famous inventor, Nikola Tesla. And it's called the Tesla device. And he gave me a copy of the screenplay that he'd written, and I read it, and I was very intrigued by it. I thought, this is good science fiction. It's not just a lofty, nerdy sci-fi type film. It's also a real drama, and it's based on events that people struggle with in their daily lives. The main character has lost not only his father, but now he's lost his mother, and he's having to deal with lawyers and with inheritance and a relationship that he's trying to rekindle with a lost love and a friend, and he's drawn back into this town that he's left. He's gone away to college, but he's pulled back to this town, and he's desperately trying to get away from this town and change his life. And then this device comes into his life, and that changes everything. But yeah, that's kind of how I became involved in it. And from that point, I did a little bit of conceptual art here and there, and I did the storyboarding for it, which was something I'd never done before, but I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of work, but kind of once I fell into a groove with it, it was really rewarding. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of artwork. It was more than I've done in quite some time, and I'm just really thankful to be a part of it. A lot of talk and a lot of conversation went into the actual the storyline, development of characters. And at that point, when everything was in motion, we started building props or designing props. And Joey designed this wonderful cage that you see behind me, that you see in the trailer. Drew it out, and we went and bought the supplies and put it together. And a lot of painting involved. A lot of fun building the props. We sprayed it and got a real nice copper color on it, or a nice brass color. But we painted the patina on this and made it look aged, and several layers of different greens and different colors. We cut some of the rubber tubing to make all of the interior wiring on it, and then we put the screen wiring on, which I went back and added a rust color to make it look aged. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed building the props. And there were several other props that we built, a lot of decorative things for the sets, little bits and pieces of plastic packing materials that we would spray paint and age and just use them in inconspicuous ways to kind of dress up the sets. A lot of things we collected to put on the sets, little receptacles for tubes that Joey acquired through Andrew, his dad, who works on x-ray machines. And he had this great collection of old vacuum tubes. And the tubes were very, 20s looking. They had the right technology of the right era. So a lot of the tubes, we kind of dolled those up and made some the phony receptacles for them to make them look part of the set. And overall, it was just a very positive experience. That's what I've taken away from this entire thing. I thought the cast was really good. I was surprised. We did auditions, and I was at one of the auditions. I couldn't make the second one. And I was impressed with the caliber of actors at the audition I was at. And in fact, Frank Warlick came from that first audition, and we had a few others that were really good. Justin Patterson came from the first audition, and the second time around I watched the video of it, and I was really impressed with Andrew McClure, who plays Tommy, Michael, who plays Alex, Michael Tarver, and Whitney Sullins. Whitney is very talented, and after we pretty much decided on her, we saw the trailer online for another film that she's involved in, and after seeing that, we were so impressed. We were like, we probably need more of her in this trailer, and she was impressive. She did a great job. And Michael's just a natural talent. Michael's a stage actor. He runs a theater group. He has a web series on right now. Michael's a very, very busy, very involved young man, but very talented. He's just a natural talent as an actor. I had the opportunity to spend a little time with him and talk to him, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting to know him. The Frank Warlick, Frank's a total professional, great booming voice. Frank was a lot of fun to be around. He's just a total professional, and I thought he did a great job as Faraday. And then Justin Patterson, This was kind of a first for Justin, I believe, and Justin plays the lawyer in one of the first scenes in the trailer. And Justin just nailed it from the outset. I thought he did a fabulous job. And then, a friend of Joey and mine, Max Morgan, plays the monster in the trailer, the mutated version of Tommy. And Max was just great. Max, did his makeup session, asked no questions, no complaints, and he did everything we asked him to do in the scenes and more. And I thought Max did a fabulous job. There were a lot of shots that I really liked. There's a shot that Bill did, and it was a dolly shot, and he basically starts with a tight focus on Andrew's eye. Joey really needed this for one of the shots, the first time Tommy actually uses the device. And Bill came in really close, and then Ernie, his grip, slowly moved the dolly back, and Bill had to do a couple of really tricky focus shots on this to pull it back. And I thought it just looked spectacular. It took several times, but Bill got it just right the way he did everything. And Bill is a tremendous cinematographer, and not only that, he's really an artist at what he does. Yeah, that was probably my favorite shot. Another shot that I really liked was at the top of the stairway in the house where Whitney's looking for Tommy, Haley actually, and as she turns, you see a glimpse of Tommy in his mutated form behind her, and I thought that was a fabulous shot. It took a few takes to get it, but what Bill ended up with on that was great. And a lot of the stuff in the basement, we filmed in a 100-plus-year-old basement of a hotel here in town, and there were some shots that we used a lot of smoke. We really smoked it up to make it look dusty, and Bill just caught an amazing presence in that basement. It was just really eerie. But his cinematography just really made this project work, and I can't give enough credit to him. And Joey for having the visual sense for it. Joey's got such a great visual eye, and his suggestions to Bill, the way they set up the shots, I thought was really brilliant. I really enjoyed being around that part of the process. Yeah. I guess probably the funniest thing to me, and it was really more of almost a shock, is we were filming in the basement. And Whitney, we did a few shots here at the house with Whitney to begin with, and Whitney's kind of a girly girl, and I didn't know how she was going to take to filming in that basement, because the basement's it's an old, it's old, and it's dirty and dusty and dank and a bit on the fragrant side. And when we got down there, Whitney just did everything she was asked to do, and she did a fantastic job. In fact, there were more shots that we set up with her that were just great that we didn't use. And like Joey, we look at these shots when we're doing the edit, and it's just heartbreaking not to use some of these shots. But there's a scene where Max throws Whitney up on his shoulder, and then he carries her down a hallway while she's screaming. And Whitney's a really small girl. She's a little girl. And Whitney just screams, this blood-curdling scream, and it was just absolutely unbelievable. It was unexpected, and I was kind of speechless. I didn't know what to say at the time, because it was I'm sure she was probably heard at least 3 blocks away. It was that type of scream.